Hey, hello everyone. Hello. This is Lori Dovey and me, Veronica Entwistle, and we want to bring to you Miracris. Miracris is our beings, a group of beings that I channel, and what we would like to ask them about is this incredible worldwide Epstein thingamabob. So brace yourself. If you're sick to death of that subject, you're not going to be sick to death of this because they're going to make it pretty interesting and pretty practical, I hope.
Yeah, and
So,
V, I think one of the things that you brought up, and it was very profound just moments before we started rolling, which is can we handle, can we handle it? Can we handle what possibly could come out and at what levels and the echelons involved?
or the other thing is, will we handle it?
Yeah, or will we just suppress the hell out of it?
And okay, I think it's a really interesting subject because I'm hoping they'll give us some inroads into empowering groups of people that might not appear to be empowered. Do you follow what I'm saying? I need
Mm.
them to speak with us right now.
Okay, let's do that.
I think they have a better point of view than we do, or a bigger one. How about that? A much
Okay,
more inspired point of view.
excellent. And I have to tell you, every day I I'm processing through about this Epstein thing, and part of it is I have yachts sitting in front of me 2 football fields away every day with helicopters on them. And
Wow.
this opulent wealth thing and this mysterious, separation, this idea that this is the million and billionaires playground out here on the
Hmm.
Mediterranean. I mean,
Hmm.
it's really in my face every day.
Well,
Um,
that's good. That kind of gives us another perspective, the bigger
yeah,
perspective, actually. Good for
yeah.
you, Lori.
Okay.
It really is a huge, huge deal. And it's not, here's the other interesting thing. It's not new. I mean, the characters are different and the hairdos are different, but it's not new since time began and since humanity tried to be the top, right?
Okay.
So I want them to tell us all about what on earth to do. So let's call in the presence. Let's call in the beautiful beings of light. Let's reach up with our minds. This is for everyone at home. Reach up with your mind as a sculpting tool into infinity plus one and draw down a golden stream of light and have it penetrate your central nervous system from floor to ceiling, from head to toe into your feet and so on, that you are an agent of light, especially while we're talking right now. We want you to talk to us as well. And that we're one in heart, one of the purpose and purity of the soul. Please guide us with a route through this incredible, disgusting Epstein thingamabob, but it's not news. We need to get through it. We are here. We are here. We have we want to say we have great news for all of you. However, it's much bumpier than that. There are some steering wheels required. Do you understand that? People who are afraid of the consequences of what would you call it, making a fuss or making accusations or whatever. People are afraid of being shut down, confined, punished, and so on, which has gone on through the history of mankind, and you know that. We're seeing to you that this is a time where many, many more people have the wisdom of the light. Do you understand the wisdom of the light, Lori? We know you do.
Hmm.
Hmm. Many people have the wisdom of the light, whereas back in the days of Les Miserables, it was a much more defined and a smaller group of beings who had that. You understand? Nowadays, it's easier for that to become contagious. And we're not repeating ourselves unnecessarily. We're saying to you, this is a crucial element of what's going on. There are people coming down from, oh, what would you call it jocularly, from the rafters with defense and fear about this particular subject because somewhere they will be indicted, somewhere they will be involved in what's going on. And they also, the other huge thing is they do not want to forfeit the privacy of having a higher station in the world. They don't want to forfeit that, and they'll kill for that, which leads us to the fact that there will be some pretty violent reactions. We would like you to steer this, Lori, if you will, but we see violent reactions coming up in certain pods of this thought, of this echelon of elegance, as they call it.
Oh, interesting. Hi, Mira Chris.
Hi.
Um, welcome.
And this is a good subject, Lori.
Excellent. Well, it's on my mind and many people's minds every day. So, when you say there's violence, is this violence happening in order to shut down the
Yeah,
implications?
very much so. But to shut down some of the people who are refusing to be shut up. And this is where one of the biggest dangers is. You understand?
Right. And one of the things going on is the survivors, the sexual abuse victims, the women, a number of them who were girls underage, um, in coming forth, um, have now said publicly, we will name names.
Good. The
But,
problem, the problem is,
but, sorry, Miracles, let me finish. But they have also made it clear that they have been threatened before.
Mhm.
And they're aware and that in doing this is very risky. Who is the
but they're
violence?
aware also, as you know, that some of them would rather pass their lives
Mhm.
seeking truth.
Yes,
What some of them have been through is so close to a very slow and grueling death.
yes, yes, very painful. But so is it those is when you say there's people um, who will experience violence, is it the survivors or is it journalists or because there's a lot of journalists coming out and really going after this like a tiger.
We will tell you that there is a percentage of all of these groups, you see, and the only ones that are going to stick to their words are the ones who are willing to forfeit life to a degree rather than perpetrate this kind of evilness around the world. Do you
Hmm.
understand that?
Hmm.
And we're saying it is going to be vicious, it's going to be violent, but it's also going to be surreptitious. So many people, we're recommending, how to put this, many people need to guard the fact that they have information, not in a way that completely hides it, but not to, what would we call it, shooting your mouth off, not that kind of talk. It needs to be quiet because for a number of reasons, so to keep people safe, but also because as people who are willing to speak observe carefully and also feel carefully in their own very perceptive organs, you'll find they can, some of them can steer their way through in such a way as to be heard and to topple some of the higher more recognized individuals that have a,
Hmm.
not just everyone, but those who have a bigger role that they're playing.
Okay.
Some will be toppled by this very, mm, we've already explained it, by having information and sneaking in with it. You understand?
So Mira Chris, could we talk more concretely about who some of these people are that will be implicated? So some of these men who were doing either with underage girls or actually involved in some kind of business, sex trafficking.
It's very difficult for us to pick names only because if we're even a little wrong, it is very murderous for them. But you do know of some famous, what would we call them, performers, and there are some very well-known political figures.
Yeah, but I think this is the frustration everyone's having is because no one's saying anything. Everyone's saying, oh, we have people who were famous and this and that, but no one's getting named because the files aren't being released. And and even if they are released, they're so heavily redacted, it doesn't matter. So we have to rely upon beings like you, Mary Chris, because just to say it what it is, these survivors are willing to say who it is as much as they know. You know, they weren't
Mhm.
in every situation at all times with every single scenario. So I would really like to kind of press you to come forth. It's not going to be, look at who's murderous. You know, this show is for entertainment purposes only. Okay.
Mhm.
So that's the disclaimer. So if you can help us understand who some of these people are, it would be really helpful, I think, because all we're hearing is the same thing. I can turn on
All
the
right, so we'll
news.
tell you a
Yeah.
few things. Some parts of it are dangerous for both you and Veronica. You understand that?
But by whom? Our viewership is not in the millions.
You
Uh,
don't need 1 million people to kill.
no, but who is watching? Come on. I think our viewership is quite small. So I don't think anybody named whose name is being named is going to be watching the show, if you know what I mean. Libby
We have
up.
one more thing to say here, which is you're absolutely right, although we see a couple of leakages that are pretty dangerous in a way, because some people are on the very edge of their own sanity. You
Hmm,
understand that?
okay.
So you don't know enough about, and there are some, for example, we see here a royal family.
Yeah, we know that, right? We already know
And
about the
everyone
road.
knows about Prince Andrew, but there are
Yes.
much, much more than that.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Okay.
And as you go and deconstruct a royal family, they don't work one on one. They have henchmen and supporters and all that. You understand that.
Okay.
So it spreads out. We're only just wanting to be cautious, but we do want to say to you that some of the royal heritage, not all of it, some of the royal heritage is very, very poisonous, very dangerous.
Hmm.
Some of the, for example, and we'll jump around on purpose just to show you how scattered this poison is, that in Canada, in some of the ritual political members back perhaps a couple of uh, different elections. Some of them have been very involved in that kind of thing without much discretion because they felt above, they were very naive and they felt above being caught or being counseled on those subjects. That
Okay.
sounds ridiculous, but this day and age is different. They're bringing up into the light things that have been very carefully hidden. So
Hmm.
we'll say that some of the British family, some of the Scottish heritage, although the Scots are relatively free of it. And then we picked up on Canada because they look so simple and so naive, but there is a streak of it that runs through the Canadian political structure, probably from the days of Canada's beginning, not the Native American beginning, but the other one that came up. You see, there's been streaks going all the way through. The assumption being made when you're in a position of power is that you can do these things, you see?
Right. And
And
just to be clear, what I think we're speaking about is Epstein, not about a historical thread of sex trafficking from the ages.
No,
We're,
you're absolutely right, except that the Epstein stuff has followed the trails,
mhm,
you
mhm.
see, and mostly the pulses, let's see if we could explain this. Mostly the pulses that make it possible with a certain group of people have come down through the ages. You
Mhm,
see, it's
mhm.
not, you can't say it started here with Epstein. No, it's been penetrating his consciousness and his,
Right. But what we have here is a situation where it has the opportunity to finally get exposed on such a mass level. And that's kind
Mhm.
of where I think we should keep focused, is on the here and now. And because what it's too big for us to talk about the whole historical aspect of sex trafficking and women as sex slaves. And yeah, we know
Well,
what.
no, there's another part of it, Lori, is you must
Mhm.
understand that there are streams of permission that have flown through political structures, through religious structures, and so on. There's streams of them that have
A-
gone through. And
Absolutely.
you're not just trying
Abs
to stop the one group, you're trying to
Absolutely.
stop or certainly illuminate the flows so that people aren't as naive and victimized. Do you
Right.
understand?
Right. Now
For example, we see
I'm
here in
gonna be
India, look at
blunt.
India. India is a really important example.
Yeah.
You know?
So I'm gonna just be blunt here. I would like to share an intuitive hit that I have.
Okay.
And so whoever's going to come get me, they can come get me for having my entertainment intuition, which is I believe this is where it gets murky. I believe Bill Clinton was involved.
There is no question of that.
The question is, were they underage girls under the age of 18? This is
Yes, some of them were.
okay. There you go. All right. So this is about, and the reason why I bring this up is this is about ready to really bubble up and open. He's been subpoenaed. Okay. Whether he appears or not is a different story. This district attorney, Acosta, who made the sweetheart deal with Epstein the first time around, he is now coming up before Congress. I think it's next week.
Yes.
And what do you feel about that, Mayor Chris? This Acosta guy, who's now, a high-ranking cabinet member
Well,
with
we
Trump.
already spoke about the fact that there are these streams and there are these groups, and he has been active, subtle on the QT in many ways with those kinds of groups going through the higher echelons of American public service.
Hmm. Hmm.
You see, and he,
So what is?
oh,
Oh, go ahead.
well, there's some famous stars, movie stars, and so on that have a role like he has.
Hmm. Hmm.
So go ahead and ask your questions because, as you can see, we're speaking in terms of streams and groups and affinities for certain groups.
Right. Now, Acosta, what's going to come out of that congressional hearing? Will he just take the fifth and that will be that? Or will that go to a much bigger place after?
Much bigger place. And part of the reason when he tries to take the fifth, the attack on him by the public is huge.
Yeah.
That's what you have built up right now is the ability to speak up,
Yes.
and uh, and he's going to face the wrath of many. You see,
Yeah. And the sweetheart deal. And none of the victims, the survivors, were ever informed of the deal. And that was one of the things that really came out. They were never informed by the DOJ of this, the meeting with Blanche and Ghislaine. And, it's been
but one
such a
thing, Lord,
travesty, such a
and the
travesty.
DOJ is going to be in big trouble anyway, isn't it?
Yeah, well, they're henchmen for Trump.
Hmm.
Basically. He's positioned it. Now, we like to believe not every single person in the DOJ is operating nefariously because there's too many of them.
But you
So,
and I know that if they are really straightforward and honest, they will want to call their own center. They will want to call up for themselves.
right. One of the things, Mary Chris, it keeps coming up, and Jeffrey had Epstein had cameras, especially in
Yeah.
Manhattan, in every
Yeah.
single room, including the bathroom.
Hmm.
They have over 3 gigabytes of additional information on top of the 33,000 pages that they're now combing through that have been heavily redacted. These, they have cameras and cameras and cameras and cameras, footage. Um, will we ever, will that ever become available to the public?
Some of it, some of it. Partly the excuse will be,
Because a complete implication. If you see so and so getting it on in the bedroom with an underage girl, there's the footage.
yes,
There's the
exactly,
footage.
exactly.
And it was a blackmail mechanism. I have no doubt about that. But will it be used in such a way like that, where we have the footage? Look, we see you. Will the footage be used as evidence in that way?
Do you have any idea how much money is going to change hands over this question?
Huh.
Some footage will be revealed, but I hate to say this, but not much, partly because some of the people have been aggrandized by the society
Mm-hmm.
and they're still being protected. So you're going to get a very uneven revelation coming up. You won't
Mm-hmm.
be sure quite who to trust and who not to trust in that particular melee, and it is a melee.
Mm.
However, however, how this works. One moment, please. They're showing here, we're being shown, and we're really fascinated by the fact that some will be almost frightened by this is very strange how people's minds are going to react. Some of them are going to be deeply frightened and very confused by the accusations and the revelations. And they won't, some will come up forward as a result, and some will somehow become non-compos mentis, not
Mm.
able to speak. You understand? It's a very traumatic thing because some of them are going to go right down through the generations in their clan. Well,
Wow.
they're not called clans, but you
Yeah,
understand?
yeah. No, I
Going to
understand.
tear up their entire beautiful, wealthy history. You see how severe that is?
Hmm. Hmm. Can I ask a question about Ghislaine Maxwell's father, who had apparently fell overboard from his yacht? This was a number of years ago. It was deemed a drowning. Was he killed?
Yes. But
And
it
he,
was also kind of a contracted, it's partially suicide in that it was a contracted thing with his cooperation.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Do you believe that Epstein is alive?
Do I believe that Epstein is
Alive.
alive? No.
Really? Because there's a number of metaphysicians who cannot feel into him and have been gotten a lot of information psychically that it was a complete setup that in he didn't die by hanging himself. It was an escape mechanism.
Hmm.
You don't believe that?
No.
Okay.
But
And
go
well,
ahead.
that's important. Now, you're one of the first who've said contrary. Mm. Will Ghislaine remain alive
Um,
during this time? I mean, eventually she'll die.
no, no, she's going to pass. Um, she's quite crazy, you know that.
Yeah. Hmm.
She is going to be passing. Something is happening in her where she, very much like Trump, is kind of dissembling. Do you understand that? Have you
Yeah.
watched her?
Yeah. I watch her, the footage of her, and I think she's just bonkers.
Yes. And she can't last a lot longer because even though she was such a perpetrator, you'll
Hmm.
notice that people who were abused over a long haul became either crazy or broken or emotionally destroyed and so on. She has had that as a perpetrator.
Right.
She
And
doesn't have much room left to live.
got it. Okay. And do you think will she ever will she ever come forward with the information that's being hidden?
And no.
Yeah.
And here's the sad thing, Lori, is that part of the reason is she won't have the capacity soon.
Hmm.
So you need to wring her out like a raisin or something to get the information before it's gone.
Right.
So,
Okay.
and it's not, you could say it's purposeful on her part. Well, supposedly it is, but right now it doesn't seem to be at all. Seems she's unable.
Okay. And we're almost ready to run out of time. The last question is Virginia Joffrey, lovely Virginia, who we've channeled with and been in touch with from the
She
other.
is so, so grateful, Lori.
Wow. Well,
She,
her book is coming out next month.
and
And
also her words are becoming more acceptable, more usable, whether it's her book or the channelings or
mhm,
whatever. She is so, and she wants everyone to know that it is helping her so
mhm.
much, even though she's on the other side.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. I know that it's been from our experience with her, it's been a very difficult journey, but we've been helpful. And I
Mhm.
think it just shows that we can help people on the other side as well.
Exactly. And part of it is the love that comes up to support them underneath. You understand that.
Right.
You're doing a wonderful job, Lori.
Well, thank you. And thanks to Veronica. So I hate to first to sign off, but we're going to lose each other here
Mhm.
shortly.
Perhaps
We
we could speak again soon and we'll follow some of the outrage of.
absolutely, because I like this idea of ringing Ghislaine like a raisin. And I want to
Yes,
get into that. I think we should do a show on that.
yes, very
And
soon.
yeah, if not after this one.
All
Okay. All right, Mayor Chris. Thank you.
right. Much love to everyone. Thank you for doing all this. We from this side understand how important it is for the Earth people.
Lovely. Thank you. Bye bye,
Much love.
everybody. Much
Bye,
love.
everybody.